placed in our cemeteries throughout the nation, some dating back to the 1600s, like Milton Cemetery in Arboretum, those who served with them and came home, or who served in peacetime. Here, in this cemetery alone, we flag over 1,800 graves. It was a mild May evening in 1954 when the Boy Scouts from throughout Milton were assembled here to join Milton's veterans in posting flags in preparation for that year's Memorial Day. The veterans were standing in a long line, some in their World War II or Korean War uniforms. The Scouts were paraded parallel to them. When I turned and looked at the veteran across from me, he was a uniformed soldier, but not in khaki. Instead, he wore a dark blue soldier's uniform with highly polished brass buttons on his tunic and a Civil War era cap with the brass letters GAR above its brim. He was an impeccably uniformed African American veteran of the Grand Army of the Republic. Our eyes met and held, with his seeming to say, "I have a story to tell you." Before I could speak, 2 bundles of flags were handed to me, and I was led along with several other scouts to assigned areas to post our flags. Upon returning, I looked for the GAR veteran, but he was not to be found. Close by to us, in fact over my shoulder, rests my brother Michael's father-in-law, Major Thomas Jalla, who began a promising military career after commissioning in the U.S. Army prior to World War II. When he returned from campaigns in the European theater of operations, his active career was ended, not because of combat wounds, but from a battlefield tuberculosis. We know some of his story. Following last year's Memorial Day ceremony, I stopped to pay respects to one of the best friends anyone could ever have growing up in Milton. Lieutenant Commander George M. DeVoe Jr. was an Eagle Scout, had run track at Milton High School and played trumpet in the band, received a full Navy ROTC scholarship to Tufts University, graduated with an engineering degree and a commission in the regular Navy, and was handpicked by Admiral Hyman Rickover, the Navy's nuclear power school. George served 2 full tours of duty as a nuclear engineering officer on the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise during the Vietnam War. Upon his return, he married, attended the Harvard Business School, and enjoyed a successful career in finance. His life, however, ended prematurely from brainstem cancer. And there is one of our younger daughter, Catherine's best friends throughout her years in the Milton Public Schools. Lance Corporal Pat Coughlin was a Marine veteran of the war in Iraq, serving 2 tours of duty. Recently, Catherine took me and one of my grandsons, whose middle name is Patrick, to visit her friend Pat, who rests on a crest overlooking most of Milton Cemetery. How many stories are there among these flags, and how long will they be remembered? What is behind the name, service, and rank on the granite footstone at each soldier, sailor, Marine, airman, a Coast Guardsman, or woman's gravesite? Let us think how they might be preserved and passed forward to be memorialized along with the flags, flowers, in today's important ceremony. As